All right, we are back together right here, and I am Tony Sweet.
Captain Ron.
And guess what?
Special episode today, buddy. We got the whole band back together. We've
yeah.
brought in on location Mr. Dean Ryan.
We love it.
And we have our very popular guest, Dr. Fetzer. So it's going to be an interesting show. It's an unfortunate show because we even have to do this because it's such a tragedy. But just this Sunday, as we all know, there was this shooting in Vegas that's just been horrible. And the way they've been covering it on the news doesn't seem to be completely that accurate. Would you say that?
Oh, please. We've heard so many accounts from so many people. Even the authorities in Vegas are changing their minds off and on. Different people are having conflicting. So I think this is going to be a show that we can all learn from. And unfortunately, there's sometimes we don't like to hear the truth, but I think we have to.
That's what we're here for. So starting with the truth, why don't we go to Dean Ryan, who's on location in Las Vegas to cover this. Dean, what's going on there?
Hey, guys, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you perfect.
Yep.
I've been in here in Vegas. Everyone knows this story of the Las Vegas massacre is just completely not what they're hearing it's on the news. This is unbelievable. We are living in a Twilight Zone replica of 1963 with the JFK assassination. We have mainstream and the authorities and popular pop culture figures telling us that a lone wolf maimed 515 people and killed 59 was accurate with his targets from over 1,000 feet away from a 32nd floor at Mandalay Bay. I happen to be staying here in Las Vegas. I'm about 20 minutes out from the Strip, away from Mandalay Bay. I woke up Monday morning, and I immediately went down to the Strip. I marched down there. People can see my findings on our channel at the Truth Be Told TV on YouTube. You could see that on there while it's still there, on there, not getting censored and swiped off the internet like many of these other videos of what really happened that day. And guys, I got to tell you, my skin was crawling all day. I literally met employees at the New York, and without a doubt, they told me in secrecy there was a second shooter. An hour after the first shooter was finished, there was an active shooter in the casino on the upper level floor from the gaming room. There was an active shooter who was apprehended by SWAT. So that's what I can tell you from that vantage point. Also, I can also say that there are drills, and again, if people watch it on their channel, it's all stated there in real time. There were drills at Mandalay Bay day prior, and that was told to us, contact by a craps dealer, who one of our contacts was playing with him. Also, we can say that the staff at New York, they were seeking shelter in the kitchen during the active shooter. And the metal detectors that are hidden within casinos, and I'm trying to confirm this, we have reports that they were all turned off that day. And by the way, we do have reports of active shooters at Bellagio, Flamingo, Tropicana.
Yeah, hold on, Dean. I mean, isn't New York kind of further away? You said it's 1,000 feet to from Mandalay Bay to where the shooting was. Then there's Luxor. There's the whole Luxor complex, right? And then New York.
Right, and it's all connected to with the tram. So it's not like we're talking miles and miles away. Right, and it's all connected to with the tram. And it's all connected to with the tram, so it's not like we're talking miles and miles away. We're literally
no, but if you're talking about
like
feet, they're talking about. You said he was 1,000 feet away. Well,
no, these are separate shooters, Ron.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so these are separate shooters. We're talking about multiple shooters. Real people died. People were really injured. My ex-girlfriend's uncle was killed during this event. I have other witnesses and acquaintances that were maimed and or killed. So that really did happen. That doesn't mean this was not a false flag or there was not other collusion from outside forces. So with that said, that's what I can report to our audience right now. And if people can check out all the other stuff I did, and we're going to do some follow-up reports on this, but I want you guys to get to Jim Fetzer, because me and Jim have been working together with some other investigators, and we want to reveal to the audience the full story, of full capacity. We're not going to blame Antifa. We're not going to go with the ISIS narrative. We're not going with the Russians, for Christ's sake. We are going to tell the truth. And here's my conclusion, guys. This is all preparation for the big security rollout, and it's called quantum surveillance security rollout. It's a new world technology, and they needed an event to do it. And I know there's others saying that there's more to the story. Sure, why not? But I'm trying to give the most practical reason for it all. And the last time we saw this was 2009 in December with Kurt Haskell and the underwear bomber story. What happened shortly thereafter was Michael Chertoff rolled out the naked body scanners in airports across USA. And I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a rollout here in Vegas, and it's going to take place across the country.
Hey, Dean, before you hang up and before we get to Professor Fetzer, we actually have a Marine. He was a witness in the Las Vegas shooting, so I hope you guys don't mind. We're going to bring him on, and we can ask him some questions. So his name is John. John, you there?
Yep, I can hear you.
How you doing? Thank you so much for calling in to Truth Be Told. We have Professor Fetzer here, Dean Ryan, Captain Ron, myself, Tony Sweet. And can you give us the account that happened? I guess you were there in Vegas, and could you just give us the account what happened? Because we are so curious and want to share it with our audience.
Sure. Just to give you a background on myself, I'm 55 years old. I was actually in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I was in an infantry unit, and I was over in Beirut, Lebanon, when the Marine barracks was blown up in 1983. Oh, wow. And so I've been involved in combat, been shot at number of times, and I've also fired a variety of weapons from many different countries over the years. So I do have a little bit of background and a little bit of familiarity. Probably not as much as, some of the veterans that have had recent combat experience, but I do have some familiarity. The thing that I noticed right away is that we were standing there, and I was standing there with my wife, with her sister, and two of our girlfriends. Our other friends had actually gone up to the room, and so I was left there with the girls. And actually, when the first firing sounded, it sounded exactly like fireworks. And I thought to myself right away, that sounds like fireworks. Okay, and one of the girls said, "John, do we need to be concerned about that?" And I said, "I don't think so, because that sounded like fireworks." And immediately I thought to myself, it's strange, but we can't panic. All these people are here. But right after that, when the heavy firing started, the first thing I thought of is they're on the ground, they're right there, and they're coming this way. Wow. And, so I heard long, sustained bursts of fire. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I thought it was a belt-fed weapon or even a drum-fed weapon, but there were long bursts of fire, and I just said to the girls, we got to go. We got to get out of here now. And so, we started running, we took off, and that firing continued for a long time. But my personal feeling, my personal belief is that, there was probably the initial shooting might have been taken from the 30-second window, but I believe from what I experienced and what I heard, that there was firing actually happening on the ground or at a very low level in the motel. But certainly it was very, very close.
Hey, John, was it from the same direction? Were you able to tell at all? Because we had a couple of reports we've heard from people where there was bullets coming from both directions. Did you have any experience of that? Did you feel or sense that?
Well, no, we didn't have any experience. We were standing probably about 25 yards where in looking at the pictures and looking at the things that I've seen, where the main group of people were shot at, we were actually right on the other side of where the beer concessions were, where that row of concessions were. But I just remember thinking to myself that when the heavy firing started, I just thought, it is literally right there, and they're coming this way. I got to get these girls in the opposite direction.
Wow.
That was my first thought. I was thinking when the first shots rang out, that sounded literally like fireworks. You know, I've been shot at from very close distances and distances that are a long ways away. And the ones that would when the heavy firing started, I was like, that's right there, and they're coming this way. Now that was my first thought. Now I don't have any proof. I can't substantiate that, but I still believe that. And the other thing that I believe is what I heard was multiple weapons firing. And that's what I heard.
Fetzer or Dean, do you have any questions for John?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to confirm what he and Dean are both reporting. My research, which involves contact with 50 or 60 sources, confirms everything. Oh, yeah, I'm going to confirm what he and Dean are both reporting. My research, which involves contact with 50 or 60 sources, confirms everything you're hearing from the two of them.
Wow.
But because it's Las Vegas,
so
you'd think it's fireworks. Why would you think it's guns, right? You wouldn't. Probably people didn't react like they would somewhere else because you're in Las Vegas.
Now, John, did you notice people running? Because if it was on the ground, did you see everybody running pretty much one direction, and or
no? They were
everywhere.
There were people that didn't know what to do. There were people that were scattering in all directions. There were groups of people that were getting broke up. And all I remember thinking is, I've got to get these girls out of here safely, and I have to keep them together. So when the girls started running, my sister-in-law actually fell down, and the other girl started to crouch down. I picked her up and said, we got to keep going, we got to keep going. And the girls started, literally, it was like herding cats. I mean, they were going in all different directions, and I kept yelling and screaming their names, going, get back here, come here, come here. Because I knew it was important to keep them all together. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to get them to a safe place.
Well, before I let you go, I do have one more question. I know they said it was between 9 and 10 minutes that the firing was going. Did you hear the firing that sounded like on the ground end as more police came and more of the upper level firing?
No, the firing on the ground, the loud firing on the ground, to me, didn't sound like it was that long.
Okay.
It sounded like it was a shorter period of time, and then what I heard was intermittent firing, not the steady long burst that we heard in the very beginning. And for myself, that concerns to me, just myself personally, that these guys, went in, made a couple of sweeps, and got the hell out of there, and then the shooter up on the 32nd floor continued to fire. So that's just my personal feeling. I don't have anything to back that up, but that's just how I view it.
Well, thanks for telling us your account, John. I really do appreciate
so much.
it.
And we're so glad that you made it out safe.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Glad the girls are safe. Thank you.
Yes. All right.